Hey, it's Tuesday, and here we are.
Yes.
Microphone closer.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Closer to your mouth.
Sorry.
Good Lord.
I thought I had it perfect, but
you never do.
No, I don't.
Anyways, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
You sure?
Yeah.
Positive?
Yes.
That's good. Oh, Lord. How's everybody doing? Tuesday, October 11th.
Yeah.
This month is flying by.
I know.
We're giving all of our patrons, this weekend and next weekend, right?
Yes.
So 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
So this week and next week, by end of next weekend, was it the 23rd? 22nd?
I think that is it. Yes. Let me double check here.
We want everybody to get there. I mean, we're pushing really close to November.
Yeah, we are. So let me find
just
out.
So everybody knows, we want to do a Patreon November month.
Yes.
Where all of our patrons choose
what we discuss.
Choose our topic.
Yep. Yes, it'll be the weekend of the 22nd and 23rd.
Okay. All right. Well, 23rd is Sunday.
Yeah, but
so we'll give them until the 23rd.
Yeah, till the 23rd.
So you can DM us on Twitter, Patreon itself.
Yes.
Facebook.
Yes.
And Instagram, right? We on the gram? Yeah, we're on the gram.
Yeah, we're on the gram. Yeah, I
don't remember where the hell we're at. I don't remember where the hell we're at. That's why we go through that listing.
Yeah, I know we did. I know that's why.
All right, you want to shout out the chat? The chat?
Yes, we have joining us in the chat. We have, BYT was here.
Yeah, Backyard Tardis was here early, but he's heading up in the mountains. So he's going to be out of cell service. So, Nick, be careful.
Yes, we got Hector Lorian in here. We got DB in here.
Dragon Buddy.
And then we also have our friend Luna Girl in here as well.
LG.
And Steve.
Steve, what's up, man?
All in the chat today with
whoop,
us.
Whoop. Right. And what are we doing today?
We are discussing An American Werewolf in London.
Arr! I didn't do that with a shit.
You did it better than what I could pull it off.
And the craziest thing is, for the first time in a long time, since I find it, God damn it, I hate when it's seen sideways. I would never see shit right. It's the first time ever, I mean, I should say in a long time, since pretty much we went to
Got it.
I know you got it. Yeah, you got it. But ever since we went from being a music podcast,
yeah,
where I was constantly writing notes. You guys really can't see it, but Jesus Christ.
Let me see if I can show.
Damn, I'm trying to break it now.
Oh, let's not break tablets. That's not a good idea.
Why not?
Nah, the light's too much.
Yeah, because you gotta get close. You gotta go.
Well, you're talking to a short person.
Like that. See, episode 172.
Yes.
Anyway, so we got notes for once.
Yes, we do. So we actually have something to follow.
Right, yeah. Yeah, we're not gonna do this off the fly.
No, we're not.
There. So how about that?
Yes.
Anyways, we were going to be joined by Hannah tonight, but we can't. She's not going to be able to join us tonight.
Oh, okay.
Or not. I don't mean like join us in the show. But she won't be in the chat tonight.
Okay.
Because she's at jury selection.
Oh, lovely for her.
Hey, I know how to get out of that shit.
I know you do.
First thing you do is act all nervous as fuck when you're in there. Because they think you're like, they don't think you can make a decision.
Yeah, I know.
And that's the first thing I do when I go to jury duty.
Yeah.
Act all fucking nervous.
Oh yeah,
all twitchy and shit.
Yeah, I know.
I got out of it too.
I know you did. Whew. Yeah,
Anyways, you want to get on the other side of this?
Yes, let's.
All right, let's see. Where's those buttons at? Do you know?
Yeah, right there.
Sure. All right. Ready?
Yes.
This podcast is part of the Red 5 Network. For more Red 5 Network podcasts, visit red5network.com.
Oh, they didn't work. Welcome to Houston. I'm Scott.
I'm Kim.
Oh, dang it. You were reading the chat too? Yeah, so was I. Yeah, definitely. Yep. Oh, Lord. Yeah, I was reading the chat at the same time that was going on.
Yeah.
Anyways, this is episode 172.
Yes.
And we will be talking about the 1981 An American Werewolf in London. But before we do, how was your week?
Busy.
Well,
and it's going to get busier.
Well, yeah, your week kind of ended on Saturday with you being home. Like you already are every work day, you're home. You don't work. You work from home. Oh. Except for you were informed that this week you're supposed to be at the office.
Yes. So I went over there Monday just to be informed that I may not have to be there for the rest of the week.
Yeah.
So I still haven't got that confirmation yet.
Well, you know, it'll be a last minute thing.
I know. I'll get up early enough to see.
Oh, fuck. All righty. So, what else you got going on? Anything?
No.
No? Nothing? No. Nothing? Well, I decided to wear a special shirt today. Oh, let me get the fucking microphone out of the way.
Get the microphone out of the way so they can see. Go ahead and borrow mine.
No, I don't need to borrow yours. All right, it's out of the way.
That's his Jason Rose shirt.
I think the best part of this shirt was when I wore it home after Hannah's wedding.
I know, that was hilarious.
We left Elko. I had it. Elko, Nevada, I had it on. We stopped in Battlemont, Nevada. I still had it on.
Yeah, you did.
And I wore it all the way from there to Yuma.
Yes, you did. And boy, did we get questions every stop we made.
Yeah, we did. I know. It was fucking hilarious.
It was.
I enjoyed it. It was fun.
Yeah.
But let's see. What do we normally do? I don't remember how we do this again. Do you remember? Did we do this last week? Fuck, this week has been weird.
Yeah.
I've been playing video games still.
Yes, and I have
been playing the hell out of Gold Rush though.
I know, and I
know Hannah wants me to get into or get back into playing Among Us.
Oh, that was so fun to play. Of course, I also played a Pirates of the Caribbean Lego game too. Finally passed the first level on that after years of not playing it.
Oh shit.
we might want to get on I want to get onto the other side of business.
You sure?
Yeah.
All right, let's get over there.
Because we do have a special guest here.
We do.
Yeah.
And she's with us almost every week.
She is.
To give us the roundup.
Red 5 roundup, yeah.
Okay, well, you just gave it away. Not everybody knows who it is.
That's okay.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and there you go. You're up.
Thank you to our Patreons, Luna Girl, Dragon Buddy, Don Delasnooch Solsky, Nicholas Schaefer, Hannah, Mikey, Brinley, and Case.
Oops, wrong button. That button. Well, and again, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Welcome to our newest Patreon member, Steve Long of Rogue One Radio.
Whoop. Who goes live after us?
Yes, they do go live, and they'll be discussing Andor episode
5. Which sucks because
I know.
I actually watched episode 1 yesterday.
Yeah, and you told me there was a smart droid in there. Which then got my interest because I like smart droids.
No, I didn't. I said it was, in my opinion, it was a smart asteroid.
Yeah.
And again, I've only watched 1 episode. So I still can't. I can't watch anybody's shows. I can watch them up to a certain point and then be like, okay, guys, have fun.
Yeah, I know. Because we're like behind.
Fucking way behind. If you want to join our Patreon, go to patreon.com/usedabusedpod. Speaking of also being behind, I've got one more episode, right? Of once Stranger Things has happened, does their next episode, I've got to start watching again.
Yes, you do. So you can be
up with them.
Yeah.
Be with them all the way through.
Yeah, because I noticed they've already started season 2.
I know. So it's like, okay, let's see, I'm gaming. Where do I fit this in? Where do I fit that in?
Oh, you'll figure it out. You'll definitely figure it out.
Yeah, I swear, I just want to go buy a shitload of no-dos. Do they even make those anymore?
I don't know if they do or not.
Welcome to the 80s.
Yeah. Search for Used and Abused Pod today on all your favorite podcast apps, including Apple, Google, Audible, Amazon Music, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more. And we're at, oh, you're reading the chat.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Don't forget to smash that like button. And if you are new to the channel, click subscribe and then click the bell to be notified when we go live. You can, you go ahead.
Oh,
You can find Used and Abused Pod on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can go ahead.
email us at usedandabusedpod@gmail.com. That's used and abused, not and is spelled out AND. So usedandabusedpod@gmail.com.
Yes. Our website is usedabusedpod.com. There you can find links to all of our episodes, links to our YouTube videos, replays of our live shows, link to our merch store, and link to our Patreon under the donate
Tab.
Forgot to include the tab there.
Because we usually just say it.
I know. I forgot. That's why I said I forgot to include tab after that word.
That was a nasty ass drink. My grandmother, sidebar real quick. My grandmother drank that stuff because being diabetic, whatnot. And I walked in one day and said, asked, Grandma, do you have a soda?
Uh-huh.
She hands me a freaking tab. The first time I took one drink of that. I'm like, no, thanks.
It had a pretty potent taste to it, yes.
Yeah. Anyways, you can leave us a message and also click subscribe to be notified by email when new audio only episodes are available. That's on our website.
Yes, that's on our website.
I don't know where the fuck we're at.
Boy, we're gonna have a nice. You can leave
This
us.
can be fun.
You can leave us a message at 928-719-0749.
Go to tpublic.com and search for Used Abused Pod, all lowercase. That's for our merch store. There you can put our logo on t-shirts, tank tops, hoodies, face masks, onesies, and coffee mugs, and etc.
We need to update those logos too.
I know, because it's our current logo but different lettering.
Yeah, we need to do a new design too.
I know. We've been saying that for like what, a year now?
Yeah, we have.
Okay.
We are proud.
God damn it, I hate when you get shit.
Oh, I know.
Sleeping shit gets in your eyes.
I know. We are a proud member of the Red 5 Network.
Yes, we are.
Go to red5network.com to find more exciting podcasts. And with that, do you want to... Oh.
I'm not for sure if it's 40 or 42 or 45 or 50 or something.
Anyway.
I just need to put a plus in there now.
Yes, you do.
Anyways, to find all 40 plus Red 5 Networks podcasts, go to bio.link/Red5 and let's find out what's going on in the rest of the Red 5 family.
That's
with the Red 5 podcast. Go ahead. Introduce her.
Yeah. Luna Girl will now come in and join us. She's the one that does the Red 5 roundup for all of us. She will give us the lowdown on what's going on, what day you can find them, and where you can find them.
Hi, friends.
Hey, it's one of those weeks, okay?
I just want to mention right off the bat, when I did the midday live stream promo for tonight, I did say the live chat is where it's at. And quite clearly, the live chat, if you're listening to this on audio, please consider watching this live on Tuesday nights at 5 p.m. Eastern, because this chat is kicking tonight.
Hey, Nicole.
It
is. Oh, man. How are you guys today?
Doing good. How are you
doing? I'm doing good. I'm laughing backstage at these guys.
Right? You're laughing backstage. I'm over here reading it. And also Kim's like, you gonna click the button?
Yeah. So I decided to take over.
Oh my gosh. And you're wearing Jason Rose,
I
and
am.
today I am sporting Swede
Sweet
Studios. So
Yes.
I've got my buddy Swede, and he's got a scoop, but I'll get to that in a little bit.
Cool.
So we'll start off with tonight after this podcast at 8 p.m. Eastern. You're going to want to tune into Rogue One Radio, where they will be discussing Andor Episode 5, and they have a special guest, Dom from the Joy of Star Wars podcast. Again, very exciting chat always at Rogue One Radio. So join us in the live chat. At 9:30 this evening, Eastern Time, you can find extra Star Wars with a comeback for Andor. They will also be discussing Andor Episode 5 in a way that you have never heard before. They do their pros, and then they do their cons. Last week, it was something to do with, I don't know, why-whys or wee-wees. So you're going to want to tune in to see what they discuss this evening with Extra Techie and Friends at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Tomorrow, Wednesday at 7:05 p.m. Eastern, you can find the ATSW, the Escape Pod. They are discussing scary movies that aren't scary. And that would be Brady Big Lovin', Don Della Snooch, and Dragon Buddy. They're going to be chatting about Dracula Dead and Loving It. My Best Friend is a Vampire. I didn't write down the third movie. Boo, Kelly. I'm terrible. But all those classic movies that aren't scary, but they're not scary. But, you know, you get the drift. At 11 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, you're going to find our brothers over on the West Coast, the Sarlacc Digest, will be discussing Andor Episode 6, reaction, review, and breakdown. Always a great time. Tune into them. They're an awesome group of guys. So, Thursday, we might just be having a science fictionary special at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Stay tuned to see if it happens or not. If it does happen, it's going to be about The Rings of Power, Episode 7, right before the finale comes out. So it's going to be hopping. It was a great episode. DB and I will be a guest on there. So tune into Thursday's live stream promo. You'll see it everywhere. At 10 p.m. on Thursday, on their brand new night, is WSTR Media. They're going to be talking about Star Wars contributions. Phil Tippett. So tune into that. Friday, and this is October 14th now, at 7 p.m. Eastern, Stranger Things has happened with me and my co-host Don Della Snooch. We're going to be talking about Season 2, Episode 2 of Stranger Things that just came out. It's a journey that we're both on. We've never seen this series before. We're loving where we're going. Please don't spoil it for us, but instead join us on the journey and come chill with us in the live chat, 7 p.m. Eastern on Friday. At 9 p.m., we are going to go to the Red 5 Tavern on YouTube, where we are going to be playing Night of the Shadow Walkers. It is a Dungeons & Dragons game. I will be a guest, Dragon Buddy. We have Grant, we have Nicole, and our DM will be Tom, aka Warbear. So please join us 9 p.m. on Friday. Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern, we have Scarif Live, again talking about Andor, Episode 6. I know a lot of us in Red 5 talk about Andor. or any kind of Star Wars, but it will never, ever be the same exact show. Everybody's show is different with their personalities all squished together. You need to watch this as well, especially if you're liking Andor. At 9:30 p.m. Eastern is Dork Wars, where they're going to be visiting Harry Potter, year number 6. And special guests would be Miss Nicole, my son Ray, and me. We're going to be talking Harry Potter. Yay. So come join us at Hogwarts this Saturday, 9:30 p.m. at Dork Wars on YouTube. On Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern, the Science Fictionary wraps it up with the Rings of Power, Episode 8, Season 1 finale. Dragon Buddy and I will be joining Andrew and Marisha to review that. It's always a great time. If you love Tolkien, if you love the Rings of Power, please join us in the live chat. At 8 p.m., tentatively is Comics and Cosmetics. And also at 8 p.m. is Coruscant Radio Underground, where they will be discussing Andor episodes 5 and 6. They're going to do a double header this Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern. And on Monday, let's round it up with my guys, Jason and Dave, at the Sidebar Cantina, who is going to give their review on Andor episodes 4 through 6. And can't wait to see where they stand on Perrin, Mr. Mon Mothma, as Dragon Buddy calls him. As for our ATSW family, we are going to do a booth in the back at 6 p.m. Eastern tomorrow night, where we're going to be discussing week 5 in our fantasy football teams. Who won? Who lost? Who didn't even show up to the game? We'll find out tomorrow with me, Don Della Snooch, and Brady Big Lovin' exclusively at the Sidebar Cantina Facebook group. So if you want to check us out in that podcast, grab a beer, take off your pants, tune into the Sidebar Cantina Facebook group. Also in our ATSW family, layman's terms, Mr. Keith Layman. He released 2 pods on YouTube this week, Rocky Horror Revisited and Creamy Acres Night of Terror, which I have never even heard of that movie, so I really need to check that out. Keith is your source of, anything layman and drunken banter. He's a great guy. Please check him out on YouTube at Layman's Terms. Our friends over at the Orange and Fett Show, which is exclusive to Spotify, released episode 52 on Gremlins this past week. So go throw that on Spotify. And finally, Swede Studios. Now, they're planning something completely awesome. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a little dirty. And I know this because I know Swede. And I get to watch them film a video for it on October the 22nd. So tune into Swede Studios on Instagram or on Facebook or on his Discord. Subscribe to him on YouTube, and he will be posting little tiny snippets here and there. And you'll see what I'm talking about. And I guess that just about wraps it up for the Red 5 Roundup and the ATSW family. You can find all of the 41 Red 5 Network podcasts at bio.link/Red5.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
That was awesome.
My voice got a little froggy there. I have no idea why. Need more coffee.
I see we got testicle chat or Testicles being brought up in the chat.
That must be
Mad.
Mr. Hector Lorian.
Yep.
The live chat is where it's at, guys. You know,
It
the live
is.
chat's where it's at.
It is so much in the
Mhm.
chat because,
Mhm.
again, I mean, like DB said earlier, you know, pretty much when it'll break Kim when she reads this in the chat.
Oh yeah, he does it on purpose.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
and then Steve says it's not hard to break him.
No, it's not.
And don't worry, DB just doesn't single out Kim. DB likes to break Steve on Rogue One Radio too.
Yep.
So
Yes, he does.
Exactly.
Hmm.
So, real
and
quick.
I apologize that I am a Patreon and you've been saying for 3 months to get our topics in, and we still have not. And I asked DB to let me know one probably like 2 weeks ago, and then I forgot to follow up with him. So I'm
Okay.
just gonna choose. Has anybody chosen Indiana Jones for any of your
No.
topics?
No.
No.
How about we do a little Indiana Jones?
Sweet.
Yeah.
Everybody loves Indiana Jones. I love Indiana Jones. Dragon Buddy loves Indiana Jones.
Cool.
Everybody loves Dr. Jones.
Yeah.
All right.
Sounds good to me.
And you don't have to cover the last one if you don't want to. It's
Ah,
okay.
That one was kind of interesting. The last one, the Crystal Skull.
oh, you
That
liked it?
was interesting.
It was
like it?
interesting. There were good parts and
There
then
were
there
bad.
were really bad parts.
There was. I agree.
Yes.
So you want to cover like straight up all Indiana Jones or narrow it down to like one movie?
How about GB and I go on with you and we could just talk about all the Indiana Joneses
Yeah.
just
Okay.
off the top of our heads.
All right. Sounds good.
All right.
All right.
I will
Awesome.
tell you which Tuesday I will not be able to be on because I have to put in for that day off from Red 5.
Okay.
You are allowed to put in a day off for the Red 5.
I'll do it a month in advance so that
Yes.
we're all covered.
Okay.
Yes.
Real quick, because
Yeah.
of what we did last week, and of
Yeah,
course,
yeah.
you weren't able to be on because you
Yeah.
had to run the
Two
Padawan
sick kids.
Right,
Yeah.
two sick kids.
It's at the doctor and pharmacies until like 7:00.
Yeah. So, what was your thoughts and opinions about the newest
The
Hocus Pocus 2?
I was going to watch it on Tuesday morning.
Oh,
And I never watched it because my kids got sick. And I'm
No.
like,
No.
I have no time to do anything now.
okay.
So I didn't
All
watch it yet.
Okay, that's fine.
I've heard great reviews from it.
Yeah, it's a good one.
And we
Yeah.
enjoyed it. I mean,
Yeah.
I know that. So, but yeah,
I heard great things about it. I really did. So I'm still looking forward to it. And hopefully we'll be able to throw it on maybe tomorrow morning,
There you go.
possibly. Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, like I said, I finally watched at least one episode yesterday of Andor, the first episode of Andor, and went, oh, okay.
Andor's good.
Yeah, I mean, I like the first episode, and of course,
Mhm.
I'm gonna binge it, and I thought, better not,
Yeah.
because
I
got this
love
one
it.
here. That was my problem, like with Stranger Things, is you and Dawn started watching. I thought, well, and then
Yes.
Hannah's getting on me. How you've never watched? I'm like, good Lord, child. I do have a life outside of the podcast and all this other stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
no, it intrigued me when I first saw the trailers for it, but it's like, okay, I'll get to it eventually.
Exactly.
And then
But
when
this
you
is
guys-
better because now you get to go on the adventure with us.
Right. And well, that was the thing, is like I binged really quick. I mean,
Mhm.
I mean, she can attest to it. I watched it all the way up to episode 2, season 2, and went,
Mhm.
pause, hit the brakes, wait for them to get caught up. Then then you can do it together, and then that way, if ever y'all have guests on or whatnot, I'll come on and
Yes.
talk about it. So,
Yes.
yeah, it'd be
Okay.
cool. But
I will talk to Mr. Della Snooch, and
okay.
I think he wanted to. He had a couple ideas in mind, so I'll talk to Mr. Della Snooch.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you as
You're
always.
welcome.
And yeah, just let us know. Yeah, because I got to reach out to Nick. He pretty much says he's open for anything, or any day. So
Awesome.
just let me know. And we'll
I
get
will
you guys
text
in.
it to you right now. Don't bother checking your text. It's only me, but I'll text you the date right now so I don't forget.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. Bye,
All right,
friends.
have a good one.
Bye. Have a good evening.
You too. You too.
Always.
Bye.
And hey, Dragon Buddy, I know you mentioned you like this. You know, you can always get the link and jump on. I'll bring you right in. I don't care.
Exactly.
Anyways, we gotta get some news.
Yes,
We gotta
we
get
do.
to some news. We got some news. I got some news to bring up real quick.
Yeah, we do.
First of all, first part of the news: Carolina Panthers. This is NFL news right now.
Yes, it is.
Fire coach Matt Rule after a 1-4 start. That sucker got kicked to the curb quickly.
I know, but my question is,
They went 1-4 and they said goodbye.
my question is though,
Yes.
and this is, you said the Carolina Panthers, right?
Yeah. Carolina Panthers, Charlotte area.
Yeah, I know, but my question is, if they get an interim head coach right now instead of
They will get an interim
well,
head coach.
just let me finish. Let me finish. Is the interim head coach going to have them win more than just one game, or is it the team that's not listening to the
Who knows? Don't know.
That's what I'm asking.
No one knows.
I guess you start with the coach and hope the team improves.
That's usually where you start.
And then if they don't improve, then you know it's
Then
the
you
team.
start getting rid of players.
Yeah.
Over to Major League Baseball, the Braves, that's the Atlanta Braves,
Yes.
signed right-hand pitcher Spencer Strider to a $75 million extension.
Damn, we're in the wrong business.
I already knew that. Jesus. God. When they're freaking signing race car drivers to $13-14 million contracts, I know I'm in the wrong goddamn business.
Yeah, exactly.
And on a sadder note, just recently, just a few hours before we went live, we learned that Angela Lansbury, London-born actress who for 7 decades brought a commanding ladylike presence to stage, screen, and television, especially over the 12 years she played
Murder, She Wrote,
dauntless mystery novelist Jessica Fletcher on the CBS Murder, She Wrote. And of course, she has passed away at the age of 96.
And she also starred as a witch in Bedknobs and Broomsticks by Disney.
She was also the voice of Mrs. Potts in Beauty and the Beast.
And she also did Princess Diaries 1 and 2 too.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And just a real quick quote from that People magazine got, and I quote: "The children of Dame Angela Lansbury are sad to announce that their mother died peacefully in her sleep at her home in Los Angeles at 1:30 a.m. today, Tuesday, October 11th, 2022, just 5 days shy of her 97th birthday," end quote. Her family says in a statement obtained by People.
Wow.
On this day in history, in 1811, a few moons ago,
Yeah.
the first steam-powered ferry in the world, the Juliana,
Let me see.
started its run between New York City and Hoboken, New Jersey. And by the way, I forgot to say one thing.
What?
R.I.P. Rest in paradise. As Luna Girl would always say, rest in paradise to Angela Lansbury.
Yep. Dang, we lost Loretta Lynn. Now we've lost Angela Lansbury.
Yeah. In 1868, Thomas Alva Edison filed papers for his first invention, an electoral vote recorder to rapidly tabulate floor votes in the U.S. Congress. Edison's device was issued a U.S. patent on June 1st, 1869. Members of Congress rejected the apparatus, and it was never utilized. In 1910, President Theodore Roosevelt became the first U.S. president to take flight in an airplane. Piloted by Art Hoxie, Roosevelt would stay aloft for 4 minutes in a Wright Brothers built plane at Kinloch Field in St. Louis, Missouri.
Wow.
In 1950, the Federal Communications Commission, or FCC, gave CBS the first license to broadcast color television.
Wow.
1975, Saturday Night Live premiered on NBC with George Carlin as host and musicians Janis Ian and Billy Preston on the bill. And in 1984, Catherine Sullivan, flying into orbit aboard the Space Shuttle Challenger, became the first American woman to walk in space. Hello?
I'm here.
What the fuck are you doing?
I'm reading the chat.
Okay. Well, you read the chat and I'll say who's got birthdays today. Okay. Those celebrating their birthday today under the sign of the Libra.
Okay.
Clergyman Mason Locke Weems, who invented the story of George Washington and the cherry tree in 1759. Englishman George Williams, founder of the YMCA in 1821. Food industry pioneer Henry John Heinz in 1844. Former First Lady and author Eleanor Roosevelt in 1884. Senior Darrell Hall in 1946. He's age 76 now.
Okay.
And actor Joan Cusack in 1962. She's age 60.
Oh, wow.
All right. And then I got a little bit odd news or weird or just, no, not really. Well, it is odd. Las Vegas, Nevada, yesterday.
Yes.
A camel takes the drive-through at In-N-Out Burger in Vegas.
So did the camel order an animalized burger and fries?
Visitors to fuck. Really? I figured he ordered a milkshake with a couple humps.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyways, visitors to an In-N-Out Burger fast food restaurant in Las Vegas were treated to an unusual scene when a man brought his camel through the drive-thru to enjoy some fries. A video filmed outside the eatery October 4th shows a dromedary camel named Fergie walking through the drive-thru lane with her handler, Brandon Nobles. Nobles told onlookers Fergie is a 14-year-old camel rescued from her former home in Colorado. The video shows Nobles take Fergie through the drive-thru to get French fries. And I quote, "She loves the French fries," end quote. Nobles says of Fergie's feast, Fergie now lives on Nobles' farm and has paid visits to numerous local businesses.
Oh, wow.
Nobles' Instagram account features photos and videos showing Fergie visiting other restaurants, including Wendy's and Einstein Brothers Bagels.
As long as they got a frosty out of it.
And in Texas, they found a purse inside the walls of a former Texas school.
Oh.
The purse was from the 1950s.
Wow.
So there you go. Interesting.
Very much.
And actually, the whole Historical Society said it will reveal details about the purse discovery at its October 27th meeting. But yeah, they actually did find who the purse belonged to.
Wow.
Because it contained the name of Beverly Williams and numerous photos dating back 50 to 70 years. Officials said they were able to contact the family of Williams, who attended the school in the 1950s. Williams, who was born in 1945, died in September of 2016. Officials said they were able to speak to Williams' daughter. She was blown away, and I quote, "She was blown away by what we said to her," end quote, Lewis told the Houston Chronicle.
Wow.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Well, interesting news for the week.
Yes.
But shall we get on with it?
Yes, let's.
A little An American Werewolf in London.
Yes.
Really? You're just dropping stuff around? All right. Development, John Landis came up with the story while, and for some reason my microphone's right in the fucking way of this. Well, I'll move this over. There we go. While he worked in Yugoslavia. Fuck.
Yugoslavia.
Son of a bitch.
Yes.
Please get your shit together.
Yeah.
As production assistant on the film Kelly's Heroes 1970. He and a Yugoslav member of the crew were driving in the back of a car on location when they came across a group of gypsies. The gypsies appeared to be performing rituals on a man being buried so that he would not, and I quote, rise from the grave, end quote. This made Landis realize he would never be able to confront the undead and gave him the idea for a film in which a man would go through the same thing.
Landis wrote the first draft of An American Werewolf in London in 1969 and shelved it for over a decade. 2 years later, Landis wrote, directed, and starred in his debut film, Schlock, which developed...
It's not Schlong, it's Schlock.
Schlock, which developed a cult following. Landis developed box office status in Hollywood through the successful comedy films, The Kentucky Fried Movie, National Lampoon's Animal House, and The Blues Brothers, before securing $10 million financing from Polygram Pictures for his werewolf film. Financiers believed that Landis' script was too frightening to be a comedy and too funny to be a horror film. Universal Studio execs were pressuring the director to cast Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi as David Kessler and Jack Goodman, but Landis went with unknown actors instead. Filming took place between February and March 1981 because director John Landis wanted the film to take place during poor weather.
All right, well, guess what? Baby!
Hola.
Hi.
How you doing, brother?
I am doing.
Oh, man. I love this movie. I mean,
This is such a good movie.
it is.
I remember watching as a kid. My dad needed me to see it, and I watched it, and I watch it a couple times a year. I love this thing.
Oh, heck yeah. The first time I actually saw it, I went over to a friend's house on a weekend, and she's like, well, what? She had like all these people over because her parents had left town.
All right.
It's like, what does everybody want to watch? And we're like, I don't know. We're like, what movie? And also she said, An American Werewolf in London. We're like, yeah, let's play that. Because none of us were allowed to see rated R movies.
Right.
So it was like, hell yeah. And I instantly fell in love with this movie.
It has just the right hint of comedy to make it feel like it's real. And then I can't say enough about this. Between this and The Howling, CGI has not given us a transformation like these two movies have done. I rank American Werewolf in London as one of the best werewolf transformations still.
Right.
Still to this day.
And just like we just watched it today, and I'm like, you know, a lot of movies you can tell they're dated,
right?
And this don't feel dated.
No, I mean
the whole transformation is still spot on.
Where it takes place in the moors and the shires of England, and you know, you don't get that feeling that the movie is from 1981. You know, it's you know, other than the clothes and some of the cars and stuff that you see, it could still be, you know, today.
Exactly. And the one thing I love about this is the fact that Rick Baker did all the special effects.
Right.
So again, we're steering it back to a Star Wars, you know, which is kind of cool. And then the fact that he also pissed off John Landis because he was actually working on The Howling first.
Right.
And because Landis was taking forever to get funding for this movie. And then when he finally called Baker, he called up Rick and he's like, okay, I'm ready to make An American Werewolf. He's like, well, I'm working on The Howling. And he got mad. So Rick Baker left the Howling, left it in charge of one of his understudies.
Yep.
But yeah, it was like crazy. And then him and Landis also got into an argument over Rick wanted to have the werewolf be standing on 2 legs versus 4, which Landis want. And
right.
But that's what you get in the Howling is you got the 2, so it's kind of cool that here the same guy worked on both movies.
Yeah, it shows. It's that perfect amount of like the practical effects and the cutaways in certain parts to where you know he's changing, and then it gives you a different camera angle, and those moves it makes it to where it feels real. Like I remember seeing that the first time. I think, man, I must have been 10 or 11 years old. Growing up in the 80s,
right?
Your parents were like, "Yeah, sure, go ahead." It's an R-rated movie. Cover your eyes. There's a sex scene, like Top Gun style, where okay, I'm not looking. But then seeing that werewolf transformation and going, "Oh dear Lord, I'm gonna have nightmares."
Oh, exactly. Well, and the funny fact is Landis actually had to cut this movie down.
Right.
Because pretty much they weren't going to give him an R rating for it. They're going to pretty much give him an X rating for it because of this sex scene. And it's like, what the hell? Of course, I look at it now going, right. And we had that Bruce Willis movie in the 90s.
Right.
Like, how could this one, of course, there's no, he's never really done a director's cut where you've got, everything put back in.
I would love to see that.
Oh, I would too.
Love to see what they cut out of this movie.
Right.
And I'll tell you what, American Werewolf in Paris, years later that they do the sequel, and that used the CGI, and even that where the CGI was like individual hairs on the werewolf when it comes out of the fountain shaking. It kind of held to that same, the same, I guess, legacy that the first one had of memorable transformations.
Yeah, I actually didn't even know about that movie. I mean, I remember it coming out, but did not remember anybody saying, "Oh, that." I was like, "Oh, what a fucking ripoff!" Because
right,
I didn't know it was a sequel to the movie, and until I'm looking up stuff for this, went, "Oh, well, damn."
It wasn't as good, but it was a decent movie in its own right. But this one still, like I said, this one still takes the cake for a good werewolf movie.
Oh, heck yeah. One thing I loved about this is Kim just read it, that Universal Studio executives were pressuring Landis to cast Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi. And it's like, I'm happy he went with unknowns. I mean, David Naughton wasn't quite as unknown. I mean, he was the star of the Dr. Pepper commercials at the time. He had done a TV show called Making It, which also had a hit disco song from it.
Right. Right.
Which is freaking hilarious because I have this RSO Chartbusters LP that has that on there, but it says from Meatballs.
All right. Because
the show was so short-lived that they eventually just said, "Oh no, it's on Meatballs also, so we'll just say it's from there."
Right.
So, but yeah, it is. Yeah, I when we were watching it today, I'm just like, wow, I just love this movie. And I was telling Kim because I'm really, and I mean this is what happened. I really love a female English accent.
Right.
And I'm thinking because I saw this at a younger age, that's the reason why okay, that just ingrained on my
right.
But yeah, he's like, the fact that they took, did film over February, March of 81, because he wanted it to be in poor weather. It shows.
Oh yeah.
And then some of the things when I was looking up the trivia that's on IMDb or BD, whatever the hell it is. One of the things that was stated in it was David Naughton actually was not happy having to run around barefooted because even in Southern California, he didn't run around barefooted.
All right.
And so now here you are in February, March, and in England,
moors,
and he's having to run around barefoot and stuff. Like, damn. But he did what he did a really good job.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
going with the unknown actors really puts it puts the strain on the story,
Right.
for it to shine. And this one, it really did shine. It was a great story. So having those, if you were to go with those top picks, it would not be the same movie. I think it would be too goofy.
no, well, the fact that, let me find another trivia. This one, I think this one here, it really killed me when I just bust up laughing when I read it. Was, where was it? Oh Lord, it was about. Oh, okay, here's a good one. Only 4 American work permits were requested by the British government for the production. One for director John Landis, one for makeup artist Rick Baker, one for David Naughton, and one for Griffin Dunne. The first 3 work permits were granted by the British government without question, but the British Office of Actors Equity questioned the necessity of a work permit for Dunne, claiming that there were already plenty of young American actors living in Great Britain who could portray the role of Jack. It was only when the director and screenwriter Landis threatened to rewrite the script and retitle the movie An American Werewolf in Paris.
Oh. Wow. You know what? Fine. We're just going to go across the channel over here and we'll do our own thing. And they were like, all right.
Right. Because right after that, the Equity Office reconsidered the application, granted Dunne his work permit. And then this was like where I said, where I met first got it was a sequel called An American Werewolf in Paris, 1997, would actually be made 16 years later.
Yep. It was the year Kelly and I got together and we went and saw it. I was so excited for when the movie came out because it was, it's a sequel to, one of my favorite movies. And we went and saw it. And like I said, it was neat. I enjoyed it. CGI was pretty good for 1997.
Yeah.
But still not the original.
Right. I mean, I think a lot of that comes down to, back to more of the practical effects, because a lot of stuff that has practical effects in it still holds today.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I sidebar over to Nightmare on Elm Street 3, that whole puppeteer section where of the bones of Freddy, that looked like shit in 87,
right?
And it looks like shit today,
right?
So it was one of those things where it sucked then, it still sucks now.
Yeah. Even it's now everybody. There was that craze in the late 90s and 2000s where CGI was getting so good that we, Star Wars. We put so much into it that you lose that connection to the realism. And even today, you have to balance that practical effects with the CGI to make it believable.
Sure.
The CGI I don't think will truly ever be, the go-to for everything. So practical effects are where it's at. Exactly.
Here's the other one I was wanting. During a preview of the film, the marquee said, from the director of National Lampoon's Animal House. Because of this, many people in the audience thought they were seeing a comedy. Reportedly, people ran out of the theater when they discovered it was a horror film because they were frightened.
Imagine being a fan of Animal House and you're like, oh wow, let's go check this out.
Right?
I don't want to be here. I need an adult. That's funny.
Oh, exactly. And that's part of the reason why I chose that one. And another one, actually, I did not know this. I mean, I know of this song. I know of this music video. I know that there's actually the extended music video. But Michael Jackson was so bowled over by this movie, most especially by the makeup and visual effects. He insisted on hiring the responsible personnel for his planned music video, Thriller.
Makes sense.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, okay, Kim, what was your thought? I mean, here, you're not a horror fan.
Yes, that's true.
You actually saw this for the very first time.
Yes.
What was your overall thought of it?
I liked it.
Did it scare you?
I only jumped once, and that's what I heard, the howling. Wasn't expecting that.
Right.
One thing I loved when we were watching it is all of a sudden there's the subway scene. The lone guy gets off the subway, everyone else gets in or on the tube, as they call it over there.
Right.
It leaves. He's all by his lonesome, and the first words out of her mouth was, "He's dead."
Yeah.
And I'm like, and there you go. Now you understand how horror works.
Right.
And that's why I've been trying to tell her for the 8 years we've been married. I'm like, it's not that hard to do these movies because either there's a music cue or something. There is something that will go, yep, it's about to happen.
There's one of those tropes that you don't fall into. Like,
right.
Let's split up, guys. Oh, half of you gonna die. It's just,
right.
Or go around to the back of the apartment to go to a party with their friends.
Right.
Yeah, let's go scare our friends.
What could go wrong?
Yeah. Oh God. I don't know about you, DB. There are a lot of memorable lines in this movie, but still to this day, my favorite one is when I think it's the second appearance, the first time Jack appears at Alex's apartment.
Right.
And he's explaining everything to David. And again, he's getting on him. And finally, David pretty much comes off that meatloaf line, or walking meatloaf, I think it is.
Right. Yes.
And then when he goes into the transformation, let me find it real quick. Yeah. I will not be threatened by a walking meatloaf.
Yeah.
And then while he's transforming into the werewolf, I didn't mean to call you a meatloaf, Jack.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's the other thing too.
Man.
The visual effects they did on Griffin Dunne. Oh my gosh. I mean, not only to show his decay over time, but just the actual first when he got ripped apart by the werewolf.
Yeah.
That was I mean, this is probably one for makeup and visual effects. This is probably my favorite movie. And it's because, like I said, it still holds to today. It don't look. I mean, it still looks like it was actually made today in a way.
Yeah.
I mean, minus the, some of the haircuts and whatnot, but who cares?
Oh yeah.
And the other thing that I never caught on this before, but it really caught me off guard today was the 3 different uses of the song Blue Moon.
Oh yeah.
There's 3 different artists that they use for the same song.
Right. Yeah, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, there are 3 different artists they use for each version. And the last one is I think it's the one that was pretty much made famous back in the 60s, I think it was. 50s or 60s, somewhere back there. But it's like crazy. And then I found out that Landis actually wanted to use Elvis Presley's version.
All right.
But he couldn't. There was a problem with the estate.
Oh yeah.
But, of course, I mean, we're talking 4 years removed from Elvis being dead.
Yeah, everything was up in the air with his
right.
Trying to get the rights for any of that stuff would have been. I mean, especially in the 80s, getting the rights to songs and stuff was a bigger process as far as who to contact and who gets the royalties from it, and whatnot. Where it's not as streamlined. I mean, I'm sure it's not as streamlined as it should be, but it's definitely more streamlined today.
Well, yeah, I mean, because pretty much today you're looking, like Universal Music pretty much owns almost everything out there now.
Oh God,
yes.
so much.
You go on to like iTunes or Spotify or something, you always see down the bottom and it'll say, most of the time you see Universal Music. Like, really?
Yeah.
Right.
Then of course when they had a few years ago they had that fire that destroyed a few old masters. Like, really? Yep. You guys couldn't have protected that. You couldn't have protected that stuff better than what you did.
Yeah.
It's like, man.
Oh yeah.
But yeah.
There were some great lines in this movie. Some goofy ones that just one-offs that stick in my head. When what's his name? David is going off. He's like, Queen Elizabeth is a man. Charles is a pervert.
No, actually, no. He actually says, I don't want to say it nowadays but he called me gay.
Right. Yeah.
And so at the end of so that's one of the things that's because of that. At the end of the movie, in the credit scene, they decided to kind of try to save face with the crown,
Right.
they put in Lycanthrope Films Limited wishes to extend its heartfelt congratulations to Lady Diana Spencer and His Royal Highness the Prince of Wales on the occasion of their marriage, June 29th, 1981.
July 29th.
Or July, I mean.
1981.
That's funny.
The other one that caught me though at the credits, and I had to ask him because I didn't rewind to double check, but all characters and events in this film are fictitious. Any similarity to actual events or persons living, dead, or undead is purely coincidental.
Right.
Really? Like, wow. I mean, and then of course the other one was funny because there's that scene where David calls home collect.
Okay.
And or no, I'm sorry, it's nightmare sequence. The God, if that's what becoming a werewolf is like, I don't want it.
Right.
Holy crap, that nightmare scene. Anyways, you see his brother and sister watching the Muppet Show.
Yes.
Okay.
And one of the things is that actually was not a lot of, I guess over the years, people have actually said that episode was fake. It was made just for the movie. When they actually took it, the episode of the Muppet Show playing on the television during David's nightmare sequence is Senor Wences, 1980, but the portion shown was never shown in the U.S. This is why Americans often assumed it to be a fake episode and why Miss Piggy and Kermit the Frog are credited.
Oh, wow.
And that was the other, and then they're also credited as Kermit the Frog as himself, Miss Piggy as herself.
That's herself. That's great.
And of course, since we're not only do we got Rick Baker in it, you're doing his beautiful artwork that he did with the transformation and all the makeup and stuff.
Right.
But we also have Frank Oz in this movie.
Yeah.
As Mr. Collins,
Mr. Collins, yeah.
the guy from the NBC. It's like, I love when I see Frank Oz in these movies because it's like, yes, that is a man behind the voice of Yoda.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Besides all the other Muppet characters and stuff he ever did. So
Yes,
Kim,
Chauncey, you need to watch this movie. If you like a scary movie, this still is good to this day. It was made 40 years ago. 41 years ago, and it is still a great horror movie.
I exactly agree with that. So Kim,
are you all right? I'm a werewolf. Are you all right? I'll tell you. I'll let you know next full moon.
Yeah.
So Kim, do you have a favorite scene in the movie? Something that stuck out to you or whatnot?
Not really, because I liked all of them.
Okay. One of my favorites is right in the beginning of the movie when they pull up in the truck with sheep.
Yes.
And they get out, help close it up, and the guys tell them stick to the road, beware the mowers, beware the moon, and all that stuff. And as he gets ready to drive off, Griffin Dunne's character Jack says, "Goodbye, girls," to the sheep.
Yeah.
Right.
Really?
Jack.
And
Jack
then
says goodbye.
Yeah, and then as they get down into the town, they go to a pub called the Slaughterhouse,
the
Slaughtered
Slaughtered
Lamb.
Lamb.
Like, are you fucking kidding? Like, great ad for a pub.
Right.
Yeah.
Where's the lamb? Inside getting cold.
Yeah. That was a good one. Actually, speaking of the Moors and the pub, it says the Moors were filmed around Black Mountains in Wales, and East Proctor is in reality the tiny village of Crickadurn, about 6 miles southeast of Bullith, Wales, off A470. The Angel of Death statue was a prop added for the film, but the red phone box is real, though the Welsh road signs were covered by a fake tree. The pub shown is in the film known as The Slaughtered Lamb, was actually a cottage located in Crickendorn, and the interior scenes were filmed in the Black Swan Old Lane Martyrs Green in Surrey.
Cool.
Nice.
Way to keep pulling that out, Kim. You was so good on this.
And another one too. I know we haven't quite got to it, but we're in London, and we can discuss this. An American Werewolf in London was the first film allowed to shoot in Piccadilly Circus in 15 years. Landis accomplished this by inviting 300 members of London's Metropolitan Police Service to a screening of his new film, The Blues Brothers.
Right on. So
nice little bribe there.
Right. So let's go ahead and finish that. What we were reading there, Kim, because the police were so impressed by his work that they granted the production a 2-night filming permit between the hours of 1 and 4 a.m.
Traffic was stopped only 3 times for 2-minute increments to film the automobile stunts involving the double-decker bus. Other filming locations included Putney General Hospital, Chiswick Maternity Hospital, Redcliffe Square in Earl's Court, the area around Tower Bridge, Totem Court Road, which is in the Underground Station, London Zoo, Putney High Street, and Belgravia and Southwark. Pretty
cool.
Yeah.
That is, I mean, the fact that they filmed over there was really cool. And of course, the one thing she hasn't talked about, when they went to Piccadilly Circus, you've got the dead Jack waving David into a
kiosk.
No, into a cinema.
I know, but it said kiosk.
Yeah, kiosk my ass, a porn film.
Well, you got to draw.
Oh
interest.
My gosh.
Okay.
So we're watching it DB, and that part, and I brought up the part where she's talking about the lone guy in the subway, and then he starts running, right? All of a sudden, he pauses this for a minute. I catch a poster on the side wall. What was it? What did it say?
Every Wednesday, massive orgy or massive
orgy every Wednesday night. I'm like, God damn. Like, really? All these years, I never noticed that. I didn't look at the sidewalls or look at the posters.
Right.
And so then a few other times when he'd run, I also noticed a Wendy's poster.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Like, damn. Oh, Lord. But yeah, so budget for the movie was $5.8 million. It made $62 million in the box office.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was released August 21st, 1981. Runtime is roughly 1 hour and 37 minutes. Now, overall Rotten Tomatoes ratings are critics 89% with 63 reviews. And out of the audience reviews is 85% out of 100,000 plus reviews. Still to this day, like I said, oh God, yeah. I mean,
yeah. Oh yeah. It's a good horror flick. Yeah. It really is.
When he's in the porn theater and Jack brings like all the murdered victims in, and they're all pissed off.
Oh God, right?
Kill yourself.
I love the couple though. The first 2 he killed the first night because I love them because she's all uppity or all bubbly and shit. It's like, you could try this or popping pills or like.
They just make so light of like, you kill yourself. Here's a bunch of reasons. Right? Here's how you can do it.
or Jack, like, hey, he's a friend of mine. I don't want him to choke. When he was talking about hanging himself with a rope, and the guy, one of the homeless guys, was like, he ain't no friend of mine.
Yeah. Right? and then by the time everything ends, that was thank you for the encouragement or something along that line.
Right.
Now, of course, we're bound for those watching. We're definitely or listening and whatnot. We're bouncing all over the place. We're not keeping this sucker in order, which is ironic because it is one of the few motion pictures actually filmed in sequence.
Yeah, it is.
Right. Yeah,
which is kind of really cool.
That is wild. There's not many.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many shows and movies that, they're filming endings first in order to get certain shots and whatnot. So
Right.
to film right from the beginning to the end in almost like a theater style is pretty wild.
Right.
And, had a good flow through the entire thing.
It really did. It really did. I mean, and it's not. There's not a moment. You got some of those movies, even in horror, you get some of those parts in the movie. It's like, oh God, it's dragging.
Right.
Not this one.
Flows. I mean, you're just going, and you're like, next thing you know, it's like the credits are starting to roll. You go, what the? Like what? Wait, are you sure?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, sure this wasn't shortened.
Yeah, 'cause I know when you popped up, I think it was a pause screen or something on there, and it was like an hour and 20 minutes in there and to the movie, and I looked, there was only like 17 minutes left. I'm going, what? Already?
Yeah.
Because
that's how good it is.
Yeah.
It really it's a great flow. And then, I mean, it goes right into the end. The action that's coming out, where right to the end, where he can't take it anymore because all these dead people that are stuck in limbo are following him around, and it turns him into where he changes again. It goes running, and then all of a sudden it's over.
Yeah.
And oh shit.
One scene that really actually I thought was, of course, seen it over and over so many times. One scene I thought that might look a little more phony now was when he decapitated the inspector.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
There in Piccadilly Circus.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, it didn't look fake.
No.
I was like, damn. And that was the one thing after watching this, that was the one thing for me was like, I don't believe there are that many movies where I can actually say it does still hold up.
Yeah.
And this is definitely one of them. I'm trying to think really any other ones that even A New Hope has its moments where you're like, oh yeah, no, yep. And maybe that's a lot of it because of the special edition stuff. Right. I do remember with the special edition that there was the boxes now surrounding the X-Wings.
Yeah.
Right.
Where it really kind of took it away from you.
Yeah.
And Jenny, I'm going to probably mispronounce her name wrong, but Jenny Agutter played Nurse Alex Price. She actually also played in The Avengers with as World Security Council in 2012, and also Captain America. I forgot to write down the rest of it, but as Councilwoman Holly in 2014.
My gosh, that's why she looked familiar.
Yeah.
I couldn't figure it out.
Of course, I've not made it that far into the Avengers run. That's my problem, not anybody else's.
I was going, she looks awfully familiar.
Yep. We've been going, between the podcasts, the Escape Pod, and everybody's podcasts that we've been listening to, and plus it's October, so I'm digging into these, movies that I haven't seen in years, and watching through them and going, oh man, I forgot he was in this, or like, oh wow, like he's in this movie. Like I know him really well from other things. One of the movies that we're doing tomorrow on the Escape Pod, scary movies that aren't scary, is My Best Friend's a Vampire. Don had mentioned it on the show, and it was like, I kind of remember that. And I put it on today. It's free on YouTube, and it's hilarious. Like I forgot watching it as many times as I did. I think it's a 1987 film where he meets a hot chick when he's delivering her groceries, and then she says come back, and he comes back, and then meanwhile he thinks it's the husband coming back trying to kill him, and it's really a vampire hunter that's trying to kill this woman that bites him, turns into a vampire. And it's all it's funny. It's not really a scary movie, but there's quite a few actors that you'll notice from not huge parts, but they've been in so many movies through the years that it's funny going back through all of these. Right.
So like the sidebar into that, like when Mask, Pet Cemetery, or not Pet Cemetery, but
Ace Ventura.
Ace Ventura. When those all came out, I'm like, why does that dude look familiar to me?
Right.
It didn't even dawn on me. And then later in life, finally get Once Bitten back on DVD, and I went, son of a bitch.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. He was in this.
Yeah.
And of course, it was just one of those movies. I mean, I like some weird shit out there. I know that a lot of people are like, oh, I hate that fucking movie, or I hate Jim Carrey. But it's like you go back and you watch some of those early, especially like Once Bitten, you're like, oh my God, you can still see all this trope.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
stuff that he does even to this day is like,
Oh, yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
You know, but one interesting note about this movie was this was the first film to earn the Academy Award for Best Makeup. That
Wow.
category was actually created in 1981, and it was created because the movie Elephant Man from 1980 had no nominations for the makeup and stuff. And so, yeah, so it's kind of ironic that Rick Baker wins the first one.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know.
he deserved it.
Oh, heck yeah. Again, Rick Baker claimed to have been disappointed by the amount of time spent shooting the face-changing shot from the transformation after having spent months working on the mechanism.
Right.
John Landis only required one take lasting about 7 seconds. Baker felt he had wasted his time until seeing the film with an audience that applauded during the 1 7-second shot.
Right. And that 7 seconds still sticks with me today, where he
hell
falls to the ground and his shirt rips and his back starts,
Yeah.
transforming. It's so memorable.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
The thing is, as or in your youth, you're not quite feeling a lot of that yet.
Right.
But as an elder statesman now, is like, oh, fuck my back.
Man, I think that's what happened the other day when I fell off the damn ladder.
God. Yeah, exactly. It's like, geez. After the filming was completed, the whole crew danced in a circle around David Naughton, who was still in his werewolf makeup on the floor, singing, I'm a werewolf, you're a werewolf. Wouldn't you like to be a werewolf too? As a throwback to his days as a pitchman for the Dr. Pepper commercials.
Yes.
Right. Once again, I chose the right shirt.
That's right.
Oh, and again, like I mentioned before, in order to get the movie down to an R rating, Landis had to tone down the sex scene, cut out a part where a piece of toast fell out of Jack's undead throat.
That part where he's like, "Can I get a piece of toast?"
Yeah, right.
Then to find out, like later, he eats it and it just falls out. And some standards and practices are like, "Oh no, you've gone too far."
Exactly. One other thing here: when Jack was killed by the first werewolf, makeup artist Rick Baker told Griffin Dunne to be careful with the wolf's head. It was new and quite delicate. During the first take, Griffin ripped the foam rubber off the head. Rick was so irritated by this that he considered putting hard teeth in the wolf, but instead used the backup head to beat the crap out of Griffin.
Told you to be careful.
Here's another interesting tidbit too.
What?
While working on this movie, Rick Baker had been asked by Steven Spielberg to work with him on E.T., the Extraterrestrial, 1982. Baker turned it down because of his obligations to this movie. Spielberg would move forward, hiring Carlo Rambaldi instead. Consequently, Carlo Rambaldi worked on a werewolf film 3 years later, designing and creating the werewolf suit for Silver Bullet, 1985.
That's funny.
Yeah. It's amazing. I mean, like I said, just going through some of this and finding some of the information about this movie really puts it in perspective, and you're just like, wow,
Oh, there's something else.
what?
Go ahead, and then I'll read after you're done.
Well, I'm not reading anymore.
Okay.
I mean, for me, it's just amazing. Well, okay, David Naughton recalled the zoo scene.
That's what I was going to
Okay, you're gonna read that. Go
Yeah.
for it, Kim.
As for running naked around London Zoo in the scene where I'm in the wolf cage, the only reassurance I had was that the wolves had just been fed. But the handler still said there were to be no loud noises or fast movements. Okay, I said hopefully. This will be just one take. So start rolling those cameras. We were supposed to be done by 9 a.m., but we overran. At one point, I looked up and said, wow, why have you got all those extras over there? They replied, they're not extras. The zoo's opened.
Mommy, an American man just took my balloons.
And
A naked American man.
Make an American man stole my balloons.
Oh, God.
And then as he came out and that old lady was walking by, he went, oh.
Oh.
One other one. I don't think I put it in here, but one other one was Jenny had mentioned that she the shower scene that she had, and then of course with her and David, she walked in that day and there was a lot more people on shift that day.
Oh, jeez.
People she had never seen before working on the set. I wonder why. What? We're doing a shower scene tomorrow? Okay,
Tomorrow.
call everybody.
Right.
I'll be there.
Clear my schedule.
Yes.
But oh my gosh, I mean, after realizing that he became a werewolf and was responsible for previous night's murders, again, we talked about this a minute, but and DB brought part of this up. David unsuccessfully attempts to get himself arrested.
Yeah.
I mean,
Fucking arrest me. There's no reason for that language.
Right. Oh God. And then he called. I love how he called it when he called his sister. Just tell him yes. I remember those days.
Oh yeah,
Right?
I do too.
Yep.
Or as he got like into the 90s, I remember I called collect from a hospital when Hannah was born, and it's like, what's the name? We had a baby girl and her name's Hannah.
Right. Yep.
You know, you see those commercials nowadays going, damn, we did that.
Yeah.
Yep. After the tone, Mom, come pick me up. I'm at Mike's house. You accept the call from Mom, come pick me up. I'm at Mike's house.
Yeah.
Nope. Hang up. Go pick me up.
Yep. Oh, geez.
The first thing that they shot for filming and production was the fake porno movie.
Right. Right.
That's great. We're gonna start making this movie. First things first, we gotta shoot a fake porno.
Exactly.
Yes.
And of course, that is playing in the background at the porn theater, and I love that one part of it where like, who the hell is this? And then all of a sudden, I don't know you, or the guy says something, and the girl's like, I don't know who you are. Oh, sorry.
That's right out the door. Yeah.
Like, really? Oh, well, at least one thing Lannis did get right was the trope of porn movies.
Right.
Oh Lord. One thing I love, another part I love is right there in the beginning when they go into the slaughtered lamb and Jack is bothering David. Hey, you know what that is on the wall? That's a 5-pointed star. Why don't you ask them why they burn those candles and what that is for? And then that older man does that joke about the airplane and
Oh yeah,
right. Remember the Alamo pretty much because they brought up the Alamo and friggin', of course, we get the part where and then the American just chucks out the Mexican and screams, remember the Alamo, and throws out the Mexican and the plane's finally, but that's after everyone, the
God save the Queen.
Yeah, the British guy got out and said, God save the Queen. And yeah, it was like, okay, but then finally Jack's like, hey, what's that star mean? Yeah. Fucking dead silence in there, and that dude throws a dart and completely misses the board. And then I never miss. You made me miss.
Yeah.
I've never missed that board. Like, tough crowd.
That's fine.
But yeah, I'm like, this movie is, if you haven't seen it, I mean, like I said, Kim saw it for the first time today. Yeah. She's not a horror film person.
No.
Right.
She will tell you this. I have bugged her since we've flipped this scene to do movies and TV shows. I have bugged her like, come on, let's do Nightmare on Elm Street. Let's do Screams. Let's do this. Let's do that.
He has.
Let's do Saws.
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't want nightmares. I'm like, oh, you're not gonna have that kind of nightmares. And then she goes, we remember what happened when we watched The Walking Dead. I went, fuck, never mind. You're right, you'll have nightmares.
Oops.
Well,
The worst part about watching Walking Dead was I get here, my mom and my sister are watching it. So I go on binge crazy on Netflix, get caught up to where they were at that point.
Right.
And then Kim gets here. I'm like, I've been telling her about this. Oh, you got to watch this show. This friggin' show's badass. And of course, at the same time, Fear of the Walking Dead starts at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So now I've got her catching up with Walking Dead and we're watching Fear at the same time.
and believe me, those two just, the nightmares, they just intertwined with each other.
It's all over.
Yeah.
I loved, one thing I did love early on was right after Jack and David got attacked. And Jack was killed. David came back, got attacked, and then the townspeople did show up and kill the original werewolf guy.
Right.
And as David's about ready to pass out, he looks over and he sees a man.
Yeah.
You know, not the wolf. He sees the man. Then,
Right.
of course, then after he wakes up in the hospital, the authorities are like, oh no, it was a lunatic that did this to them.
Yeah.
Right.
And he's like, no, it wasn't.
It was a wolf. I tell you, it was a wolf.
And then the doctor, when he goes to the town where all this happened, and finally kind of gets confirmation that, yeah, something bad's about to happen.
Yeah.
Right.
And he
And-
warns Alex, the nurse,
Right.
about what's going on, and asks Alex to bring David to him.
Okay. So how many, you've got younger, you've been around your young nieces and nephews. The character Benjamin, the kid. How many of us, every time that kid yelled no, we're like, yep, I remember them days.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
No.
Especially nowadays. It's like, I mean, gosh, you're on the tail end of Padwin's being home,
Right.
And of course mine have got kids of their own now. It's like, it's like thinking back to those times when, you ask them, you want dinner? No. You want this? No. I'm like, fuck. Ugh. Really?
Right.
And her as a nurse, gosh, she's so perfect as a nurse. Probably one of the best. I was like, damn, why can't I have a nurse like her?
Right.
To the hospital, right? And then of course, David then gets to. So one thing I did catch, I never caught this before watching it, but David obviously he leaves with her.
Yes.
When he gets released from the hospital, he goes and stays at her flat.
Yes.
And the night he's gonna become the werewolf, the night of the full moon.
Yeah.
I noticed one, and I never noticed it before, but he's kind of walking over, doing
Yeah,
anything.
he is.
And all of a sudden he goes, opens the front door, her flat, then opens up the main front door and never shut the doors.
I did notice that. Yeah.
Because I was always like, because part of me back in the day was like, well, how the hell did he get out of there if he couldn't get out of the friggin' cinema for a bit?
Yeah.
Right. Right.
But today I actually saw the doors being
Yeah.
left wide open. Like, damn, there you go.
Yeah. That's how he did it.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. God, this movie. It's a perfect combination of comedy and horror.
It is. It is.
They did it. Landis did it so well, and the fact that he wrote this.
Well, yeah.
You don't hear that much nowadays.
No.
Nowadays, you don't have a lot of directors who write their own stuff.
Right.
And most of them rely on writers.
Yeah, they do.
Or even they come up with like let's kind of use Lucas a little bit. He wrote A New Hope.
Yeah.
But then he had an outline for Empire and said, here, someone
Yeah.
else write it.
Yeah, exactly.
And he did the same thing with Return. So again, a lot of them don't do that. I love this movie.
Yeah.
I'm with you, DB. I can watch this movie over and over and over. I would never get sick of it.
Yeah. Well, my oldest does not do horror. It's not happening. Like I could never get my oldest into it. She was just like, mm-mm. My
Mhm.
youngest, we have spent hours watching all kinds of horror. It's the thing, like we go to a metal show. She's wearing the skull. She's my metal kid. And with the movies too, we can't get enough horror.
Nice.
And it's kind of how I grew up, where I enjoy B horror movies, even the C and D horror movies, the terrible ones, because we grew up in the 80s and there was just so many of them. There was just like the Nightmare on Elm Streets and the Jasons, and we were pumped full of all of these crazy horror movies, some of them completely terrible,
Oh yeah.
but fun to
Movies.
watch, like very aware of the fact that they suck.
Right.
But it gave you those tropes that it locked you in for something. So
Yeah.
Kelly and I have spent a lot of time just watching the dumbest movies, just to watch them. But this one, you would think that it would fall into the same category, and it really doesn't. You fall right into a really good movie with a really good storyline. And once things start going, you're just thrown into the action, and it doesn't really slow down. There's always something. The slow spots, you have a guy that's stuck in limbo, dead. His friend just all tore apart. Like, it's just a normal Wednesday. I'm stuck here, and you need to do something about it.
Yeah.
And then, now it's all of his victims start coming back to haunt him. And, and then it just blows up at the end, where it's just, they push him to so far to where he transforms and jumps out of the theater and ends up getting plugged by the policeman, and it's over.
Right. Now I'm curious about that ending though, or part of the ending. Me personally, I think when Alex is talking to him, there's a moment of recognition.
Yeah.
That he recognizes her.
Right.
But then the wolf itself takes over and leaps for her, and they just open fire.
Yeah, they do.
I caught that too, where it's the look in the eye, where you're, he knows who she is and he knows what's going on, and maybe when he did what he did was to get plugged,
right? And you actually see the snout go from being growly to just
that's what I was saying.
Back off, just like
split second.
Split second. Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah, that's something I actually looked up to see if that was part of the movie, and there's nothing that says that, but there's plenty of Reddit threads and stuff that kind of goes into that's what the ending was him realizing, I got to do something about this, and if I jump at her, they're gonna blast me away, and it'll be all over. But that's how I kind of took it too.
Yeah. I mean, Kim.
Yes.
I guess my thing for you was, okay, because most movies, that's where it ended.
Yeah.
I mean, it was boom, kill him. She starts sobbing. The doctor comes up real quick, pretty much puts his arm around her. Boom, credits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
I was going, that was pretty an abrupt ending.
Oh, it's over.
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah, exactly.
And it makes sense. I mean, the whole movie is about, killing the last of that bloodline. And,
right.
Yes.
You are the last of the bloodline, and that's, trying to get through to him that, he, for a while, he just thinks it's nightmares, and then realizing it, but not wanting to kill himself. So.
Right. I mean, well, he went for one attempt there in the phone booth after calling his family just to talk to his sister, tell her that he loves everybody. He goes for an attempt with a Swiss Army knife to slice his wrist. That doesn't work. Comes out, and that's when he sees Jack, and they go in the theater, and everybody in there gives him their idea of what he should do.
Yes.
Which, in a way, was quite comical.
Yeah.
On some of the, first of all, the ones I love are the ones like like that first guy, the last guy you killed. You left my wife and
you left my wife a
widow and my child with with children without a father. And it's like, ooh, damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. They bring you back into reality where you're laughing about it, and it's it's really goofy to see these ghosts following him around, but then you realize, oh man, like he just tore up families.
Yeah.
And
Right.
they're sitting there saying, no, seriously, kill yourself.
Right. But then again, we get to the, like I said, the young couple, and she's just all bubbly and stuff about all the different opportunities he can do it with. Like, really?
Yeah.
You're just really bubbly about this. What
Yeah.
the fuck?
And then he
But
asked,
it was a good breakaway from the real serious with the last guy he killed
Yeah.
to now, like, okay, well,
Yeah. And then,
right. And then, or the homeless guys.
yeah. Well, then,
That's not Winston. That line gets me every time. That's not Winston.
and then the silver bullet comment. What do I need? A silver bullet?
Like, come on,
Yeah.
David.
Yeah, come
Oh.
on. But yeah, so if you haven't seen this movie, definitely go watch it. It's
Oh, yes.
one of the
Definitely.
best. Alan and I talked about this at length at one point, where this and The Howling are the best werewolf movies, even to this day. There's some decent movies out there, but as far as transformation, as far as making you feel like you're a part of this world, this is definitely one of the top ones. Definitely worth a watch.
Okay, we got to bring this one up. LG says, "Can I just say how grateful I am for podcasts? She just cleaned the kitchen, finished dinner for when DB is done, made a Red 5 post, and checked all pod socials, all while listening to a kick-ass pod." And there you go. That's what's cool about podcasts.
Nice.
And,
And I got beef and noodles waiting for me.
Yes.
There
Win.
you go. There you go.
and then Nicole said, "Boobies, close your eyes, children."
Movies.
Yeah, boobies, close your eyes, children.
Hey, there was actually, the thing. Okay, let's talk about the sex scene, the shower scene part. They did a really good job in the way they filmed it, where she's not exposed except for one spot
Right.
when he goes down on her,
Yeah.
and we all
Yes.
know what for.
Yes, we do.
That's the only good thing. DB was talking about, A, B, C, D movies, B, C, D movies. It made me think of a movie. I'm like, I've actually been trying to I actually found it on Amazon on Blu-ray. I was like, are you kidding me? This is actually on Blu-ray. I can't believe this. But it was Death Row Game Show.
Death Row Game Show. Boy, does that sound familiar.
It's the show where they took convicts on death row and put them in a game show.
Oh, okay.
And there was an activist group who wanted it to be stopped, and this game show guy, they get to the point where he ends up killing a mafia guy's mama.
Oh, jeez.
Because they thought she pretty much wanted to go on, like, let's make a deal.
Right.
And one of his people brought her into their show because she was dressed as a convict. I'm going to kill you. We didn't know it was your mother. I'm going to kill you. And of course, it just made me think of this one scene where he's talking to the activist woman. She's got obviously big boobs and shit. And he starts daydreaming about with her, and his hands like, and he come back to reality. He's like, all of a sudden, "Chuck, are you thinking about anything special?" "No, why you ask?" His hands are just perfectly placed. Like, fucking
Oh,
A.
yeah.
But I mean, it's one of it's definitely a D movie, but
Right.
but it's got its moments of being
Yes.
of being hilarious because
Oh, yeah.
at the end he decides to change his ways, and then he takes all the dead convicts and start using them to do infomercials. Like,
Mhm.
as you can see with this person's arm, it is still cutting for a tree brand. I'm like, good God.
Yeah.
Can you imagine these are real?
I know.
But no. Real quick, DB, what is your overall impression?
Love this movie. 10 out of 10. It is one of my top movies in general to see. Horror movies, it's always a mention of mine. Just like I said, the transformation scene alone, and it doesn't take that long to see.
Right.
It's not that long, but just it's just that practical effect. It was just so good. It stuck with me all this time.
Yeah.
So yeah, as far as horror movies, definitely a must see.
I agree. Definitely 10 out of 10.
Yeah. 10 out of 10.
All right.
All right. Keep on rolling. I wonder how many people in the chat really know what that song's from or who that band is.
Mhm.
Kim's right here going, I know I've heard it before. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Thanks for coming on, bro.
Oh, good movie. Glad to be here.
Exactly. Great
Yeah.
movie. I think it's funny. We wrote all these friggin' notes and it's like, yeah, we used part of them. But it
Sorry.
worked because I mean, yeah,
Oh,
no, because you know what? I love when we get people on that love a movie. One, it's fun when you find people that love a movie you love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then we can we can discuss it.
And of
And
course we went all over the place, and it's probably sometimes a good thing not to always just go over the friggin' plot.
Well, yeah,
because
because
or the synopsis, because at that point you're jumping all over the place. People are going, "The fuck are you?"
Right.
yeah,
And then when they finally go watch it, they're like, "Damn, you guys did that fucker out of order." Like, no shit.
yeah. No, it's not. It's awesome.
It's
It
one
is
of those movies from the 80s that, when it comes to, movies nowadays where they're linked to older movies, they're remakes, redos, all of those things, this is one of those movies that unless you really watched it, it's never really mentioned anymore as far as, good movies to see.
Yeah.
Doesn't come on TV very much. And, it's not looking to be remade, which is good. Don't leave it be.
Please don't. Yeah.
Just leave it as is.
But it's definitely one of those, if you're into horror, it's one that you should have on your list. And it's awesome when you can talk to people because there's a lot of people that are like, I've never seen that. It's you should you should see this. You have to see this. It's so good.
And just so everybody knows, it is right now on Amazon Prime. So if you got Amazon Prime, go watch it.
Yeah.
Get it. Yep.
Because you won't. I mean, if you like horror, you're not going to be. I mean, come on. Like I said, audience review on Rotten Tomatoes, which is a newer thing, is 85%. Over out of 100,000 plus reviews. So I mean,
well, yeah.
Even the fact that even the critics for once, I mean, that's I think one of the things too is like the critics are even 89%.
Yeah.
Usually you're gonna have the critics down here and the audience scores always up here. That's when I know to go watch them.
Yeah, when the critics are like, "This is terrible," I'm like, "Well, I'm seeing it because
exactly.
I don't know who's paying you, but they probably shouldn't."
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, coming from like you said, and I will admit, I am not a horror person, but this is one movie that I was glad we watched because I really enjoyed it. I really did enjoy this.
Exactly.
That's great. No, that's good to hear that you were able to watch something like Scott said, something you love, and you can kind of introduce somebody to that is an awesome feeling.
Exactly. And that's the whole part. Like, I mean, I know I bring it up all the time between even her and her sister. I've introduced when her sister was still alive, I introduced him to so many movies because unfortunately they didn't watch rated R movies.
No, we did not.
I mean, once I got a certain age, I was finally allowed to watch them.
At least you were.
I had to get to become a certain age before I was allowed to watch them. But, once I got there, parents like, okay, yeah, I guess you can watch it. Yes. Finally. But, I've introduced them like the Lethal Weapons and all those different types of movies, which, I can't wait to do those movies.
Oh, I can't either.
Right.
Well, the Lethal Weapons I had already knew about and I had already watched because I think it was my friend and I, when we were rooming together, she showed me Lethal Weapon 1, so I knew about those.
Right.
Right.
So-
But I was so happy she agreed to watch this one
Yes,
because
That's great.
it's a great movie.
it is. Oh, it is.
I mean, even if you are somebody who hates horror movies, watch it.
Yeah.
Watch it during the daytime.
If
You can watch friggin' Mulan or whatever later
yeah.
on during the day. Watch a cartoon or something.
Yeah.
Play a video game. Oh, and I can't. There's certain games I can't even play with her around.
All right.
That is because some of them have really psycho characters.
Like Far Cry 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, that
Scott, what the hell are you doing over there?
that one
not
had,
right.
God.
had a psycho lady.
Psycho lady.
The psycho bitch.
No, that's Resident Evil.
Okay, so yeah, Resident Evil.
Ah, yes.
Because
Lady Dimitrescu.
right, I bought Village, then I was watching Techie play it, and then he mentioned, "Oh, this is like game 3 of the trilogy," and I went, "Oh shit!"
Right.
I'm like, well, I'll go back to at least because I think they had Biohazard on Game Pass at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so like, well, I'll start playing it on Game Pass. I'll play that one. I won't go back and find the one back.
Right.
With Resident Evil. And so I started playing it, and that's where she's talking about the psycho.
Yeah.
Resident Evil, yeah.
Yeah, the psycho
But
bitch.
then of course when it goes off Game Pass, like, God damn it, why didn't you buy it when it was on Game Pass? It was cheaper.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, Far
So-
Cry 5 is a totally different. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a whole nother level there.
Uh-huh.
Oh God. But yeah, no, dude, thank you so much for coming on. It
Yeah.
was fun. I mean,
Awesome.
definitely gotta have you on. We definitely I gotta definitely get you back on for some suicidal tendencies and DRIs and
Yeah.
Nice.
that old school stuff,
Old school
Yeah.
good stuff.
Because of course, you with the headband, it just reminds me of Mike Muir, man.
All I wanted was a Pepsi. She said no.
But yeah, and then of course, we'll definitely have you and LG on to talk Indiana Jones.
Okay. Yeah,
Next
I
month.
heard that while I was trying to fire everything up here. I'm like, yep, I am a super fan of Indy.
Oh heck yeah!
Crystal Skull was
Yeah.
not really.
Well, I
But
mean,
the other 3 are just beautiful.
Yes.
well, it's like the
I agree.
What
I
was it,
agree
third?
about the 4th one.
what was it,
Yeah.
third Mummy movie wasn't
Mhm.
that good?
No,
Right.
but the other 2 were fantastic.
Oh yeah, and then you brought in freaking the people's elbow and made him a damn weirdo scorpion thing, and it was like, okay, I'm out.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but you know what's funny about that was the fact that WWE then went back and wrote that into a storyline.
Yes,
Yeah, they did.
yes,
With Hurricane Helms.
right.
What I saw from behind that curtain was that the Scorpion King got a tiny ding. Whoa, there, Silver. Or what he said. Right on.
Oh, that's awesome.
There is like some of that shit from that era, just from the Attitude Era, just sticks with me. And
Oh yeah,
and of course, seeing the second movie, Scorpion King, or even the Scorpion King movie, that just reminds me of that shit.
right.
It's like
There were
oh,
some
yeah.
crazy storylines. I on TikTok, there's a lot of people that do history of WWE and especially the 90s, and you get several parts of some of the storylines, and you're like, I can't believe they ran with this for as long as they did. Some crazy stuff, just off the wall, goofy stuff. But it worked.
Yeah, I think I what I love about when I look back to WWE, WWF during the Attitude Era was you had WCW who overkilled the NWO.
Oh my gosh, yes, they
Oh,
did.
They rode that horse right into the damn ground.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful thing, and then it was like,
Yeah.
But then you got WWE and WWF, versus whenever they had it, they took DX and they kept it decently small, and they rode that sucker.
Oh.
They rode it so hard that it's coming back this Monday.
Right.
Yeah, it is.
The funny thing is how USA was all about, like, you cannot have X-Pac on there saying this and doing this and then pointing to their genitals and blah, blah, blah. And they wrote a letter out.
Yeah.
And Vince McMahon was like, listen, told you were going to jump over. And they were like, but wait, what if we take the letter? Because it's right around the time of Bill Clinton.
Right.
And we go on TV and we'll talk. And it was so hilarious them doing this, and I had sexual intercourse with that, kind of thing where, it was just so funny. And the USA was like, they took every bit of USA and did exactly what they said not to do and not to say, and just formed it out into this like podium talk. And USA was like, congratulations on your numbers and your popularity. And they were like, they're watching our channel. Screw it.
Exactly. But yeah. No, but DB, where can everybody find you?
You can find me Wednesday nights, 7:05, ATSW The Escape Pod. You can go to bio.link/ATSW The Escape Pod, where I'm one of the tripod. Dom Delasnooch, Brady Big Lovin', Dragon Buddy. We talk about all things. Wednesday, tomorrow, we are doing scary movies that aren't scary. We've got a long list. We're going to have some fun with that. Also helping out, joining LG and Andrew from Science Fictionary, talking about the Rings of Power. We're going to be doing a Thursday episode, and then finishing up Rings of Power on Sunday for the finale. And also joining him was the doubleheader on Sundays, talking about Andor. So we'll be doing episodes 5 and 6 of Andor on Sunday. Science Fictionary, Coruscant Underground. Look them up. Great podcast. And yeah, other than that, you can find me at Dragon_Bud. That's with 2 D's on the Twitter. And follow me there.
Thank you so much. And damn, I forgot. Yeah, Rings of Power. I wanted to watch that one too.
Yeah,
damn.
we're gonna wait. We've got a
We're so
list
far
about
behind.
this big that we need to watch.
That's what. Well, you did say it.
We were trying to keep up with House of Dragon, and I think we're 5 episodes back. And it's like, oh man, I gotta schedule 5 hours to binge this because I really want to watch it.
Right.
It's just between work and everything else. We'll get there. We'll get there.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Like with Andor. I mean, I'm like, okay, 3 episodes in one night. Really? I'm like, really, guys? And I meant for us to watch it after and to be ready for everybody's shows and whatnot. And then it's like, oh, well, now it's like episode 5, 6 is getting ready to come out. And I'm like, okay, you got to watch this thing.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you can't really participate in the chats, but go, have a great show, everyone.
It's interesting. It gets if you can look at it for what it is, don't go in. I mean, you've had actors and the showrunners overlaying their politics on the stuff. Leave that alone. Go in for the storyline. There's some deep cuts. There's some deep cut Easter eggs in it, and a neat take on it. It's Rose said it last night, and he was saying it kind of in the beginning. It's the best Star Wars we've had in a while. And you know what? I don't think he's wrong. This is a really good Star Wars. It's a take on the darker side, the gray areas of war.
Nice.
So definitely worth a watch.
Yeah, I definitely caught that. Even in the first episode, like, whoa.
Yeah, this is not our Star Wars.
No.
Oh, well, that was dark.
Yeah, definitely. Like, especially, I mean, I won't talk about it right now because she hasn't seen it, but when she does see it, I can't wait to talk about it with her because holy crap.
Well, the thing is, though, is I kind of figured it was that point after we saw the trailer and stuff. Kind of figured it was kind of a darker side of it.
Yeah. Oh, I know I was going to ask you. Did you hear who's getting ready to tour together?
Who's that?
Brantley Gilbert, country singer, with 5 Finger Death Punch.
Wow.
Right.
That is that's we just went Kelly and I just went and saw 5 Finger touring with Megadeth, the Who band, and Fire from the Gods, and those guys are the real deal. 5 Finger Death Punch. Ivan Moody comes out. They love veterans, those that have served. That they put out a great show, and they put out a great show for the people. They are the people's band. So touring with wow. I don't know how that'll work, but I'd probably go see it.
I caught it on TikTok. I was just flipping through and I follow both. I mean, obviously I am a lover of all music and it don't matter. And all of a sudden it's like, he's like talking. I'm like, what?
Right.
So I called my daughter. I'm like, hey, you won't believe who's touring together. And I told her, she's like, shut up. That'd be a hell of a show. And I'm like,
that's why it sounds familiar. He joined them on Blue on Black. The song Blue on Black, he did with them, the remake of that song. And I do remember he was credited on that collaboration. So that's touring with together. That's a co-headlining tour. That's pretty wild.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, I just thought, oh, wait, we throw it out to you, let you know, because
Awesome.
hell yeah. But anyways, thank you again for jumping on. No, it was like short notice.
It's all good. Thanks for having me. I'm gonna hop off and
all right, man.
have some
Have
dinner.
a good night. Do not work too hard the rest of the week. And definitely be watching you guys tomorrow night.
Awesome.
Can't
Love you
wait.
guys.
Love you too.
Love you.
Good show.
Thanks.
See ya.
Thanks, DB. Bye. Oh, what
That
a
was-
wonderful evening.
Yeah, that was awesome that DB jumped on with
Oh,
us.
hell yeah.
I like
That's why
that.
I threw it out there. That's why I threw it out there.
Well, I know because I noticed he said this was one of his favorite shows, so I'm glad he joined us. It made it a lot better having the three
Right.
of us on.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I enjoy it. Plus, I love having DB on, just like I love having Luna Girl on.
Oh yeah, when we
Yep.
have guests on our show, it makes the show better.
Ah, thank you, sir. Thank you. And speaking of guests, next week,
Yes.
if she's still in the chat, probably not. I think she already left, but I got to reach out to her, make sure she's still on board,
Yes.
because now next week we're doing a movie that you've seen,
Yes, that
that
I've seen.
I've never seen,
Yes.
called Halloween Town.
Yes. Halloween Town.
Kind of interesting.
It is.
No, I mean, kind of interesting that first week of October, we did a movie neither of us have seen because it just got
Yeah.
released
Yeah. Hocus Pocus too.
with Nicole. I mean, obviously we're supposed to have Luna Girl on, but family comes first. When you're young, your Padawans get sick, they are your priority.
That's right.
It's like if we get sick or something, sometimes the show can't go on.
Exactly.
But and then this week we did An American Werewolf in London, where you had never seen it,
That's right.
but I had seen it.
Yeah.
And then we got a special guest,
Yeah.
Jack and Buddy on.
Yes, we did.
As always, love having him on, just like I love having Kelly on or Luna Girl, either one.
Yeah.
They go by so many fucking names. And then next week we're gonna have General Shinobi
Yes, we are.
with Halloween Town.
Yes.
And as of right now, we're still talking about doing the stand,
Yes, we are.
but I'm thinking that 4 episodes that are 2 hours long of the original TV run movie,
Uh-huh.
and then 9 episodes of the new one.
That'd be a lot of binge watching and a lot of
It's a lot of binge watching for sure for
Yeah.
us,
yeah.
and it would be, I don't know, I'm still debating on it.
Okay.
Either that or we'll pull something else out for Halloween,
Okay.
something better. I don't know. I don't know yet.
Okay.
Maybe we'll pull something really crazy out.
Okay. Just yeah.
But
Keep
anyways.
everybody updated.
exactly. That Little Girl says we love being on. Well, we love having you guys on, believe me.
Yes.
And of course, we will get caught up on Andor.
We will. Yes.
And then when we do, I guess we gotta have an episode about it.
yes, we will.
But let's talk about November.
November, yes.
I would say still okay. So last week I said I gotta reach out to Nick, Backyard Artist. I still gotta reach out to Backyard Artist.
Yes.
Okay. And we're gonna have Luna Girl and DB on. We're gonna talk Indiana Jones.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Well, I guess when you say Kim, they say you're a little excited about that.
Yes, that and I love Doctor Who too.
You know what I forgot to mention
What?
in our news section?
What?
The fact that there's a movie coming out, I think December 15th.
Okay.
And it's gonna be I think it's coming out on streaming only or something.
Uh-huh.
You know what it's called?
What?
The Main One.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
It is a horror
Yeah.
Grinch movie.
Yeah.
They've already made a Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Yeah. Blood honey. Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah, I know.
Like, okay, so now we're gonna take all of our childhood shit and now make it
A horror flick.
whatever.
Yeah.
I have to check it out though. But yeah, but until next week, remember tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, roughly in less than
An hour.
55 minutes,
Yeah.
will be Rogue One Radio.
Yes, they'll be discussing Andor episode 5.
Right. And then shortly after them will be Extra Techie
Yes.
with Extra Star Wars
Yes.
talking about Andor.
Yes.
So maybe it's a good thing we're not all watching it at the same time.
Yeah.
Well, no, because we really haven't done. We did one episode of Star Wars.
Yeah, we have.
When we had Luna Girl on, we talked about Book of Boba.
Yes.
But we waited until the end and we talked about the whole thing.
Yes.
So, anyways, make sure to check out Rogue One Radio later tonight.
And
if you're listening to this as an audio only,
join us on Tuesdays.
Yeah,
if you can.
5 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah.
Jump in the chat, say hey.
Yeah.
And if you only can listen to the audio only version, well, remember one thing. Check out Rogue One Radio, ATSW Escape Pod, Sidebar Cantina.
Yeah.
Check out everyone we've mentioned tonight, that Lunar Girl mentioned tonight.
Yeah.
And always remember to go to that bio.link/Red5.
Right.
You know what's really funny? You know what else we didn't do?
What?
We didn't finish up our business section.
No. The only thing that we forgot though was
We forgot a lot.
Did we?
Yeah. Yeah. I guess not. I guess
No.
it's just a reminder. Yeah.
Yeah.
Never mind. But anyways, it don't matter.
No.
But
We did. Go
yes.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna end the show.
Okay, before we end, one thing we did forget was the hashtag keep talking.
Okay, I was gonna do that at the end of the show, but okay.
All right. Well, we can do it again. Also, if you are going to consider watching our replays, if you haven't watched our replays, give us a like, hit that button to be notified, click the bell so you'll know when we do go live. And
Okay, first
Also-
of all, hold it. Let's get this straight. If you're new, click subscribe.
yes,
Then click the bell to be notified. Just so you know, when you click subscribe, it is free.
it is.
You're not having to do anything to do money.
Yeah.
If you want to help support the show monetarily, go to our website, usedabusedpod.com.
.com.
There under the donate tab, it will take you straight to our Patreon page. You can go there. I haven't gotten good. I've made a few posts more, tried to make more posts.
Mhm.
I'm getting better.
Yes.
Not great. I'm getting better.
Yes.
Hopefully get even better by doing some audio only,
Patreon.
or not only, but doing some video only Patreon
Yes.
shows.
Yes.
I don't know on what yet. That's why I haven't done it.
And you can also leave us a comment below too.
You can do it on Patreon too.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. Anyways, but what Kim's talking about is if you are missing this as non-live show,
Yeah.
what you want, like you do, is click that like button, the thumbs up,
Yeah.
leave a comment,
Yes.
and Kim will get back with you.
Oh, thanks.
It'll be me. I already know it'll be me because I'm the one that's got all this stuff on the phone.
Yes, you do.
But anyways, with all that said, until
Yes.
next week, have a great week.
And a good weekend.
It's a great weekend.
Great weekend. My bad.
Be kind to everyone.
And don't forget, hashtag keep talking. Peace.
Peace. Hashtag keep talking. Have a great night, everybody.
Thanks for joining us.
Watch Rogue One Radio next
Yes.
at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.